You say you found your love through teaching,
Mm-hmm.
and obviously I met you as a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
The reason I met you, my brother, was here as one of your students.
Right.
I was doing karate up at Sac State, and I was like, hey, do you mind if I hop in the corner during summer and do some forms? And then I saw your stuff, and I was like, I like this.
Oh, cool.
And then you let me take part in some classes. I got beat up. I remember.
You did not get beat up, man. You did great.
Okay. I got beat up by your black belts.
I don't remember any of that, but okay.
It's true. It's true. I remember it was Talon.
Talon Clayton.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Talon.
Yeah, I was looking at his picture right there.
Yeah. Oh, is that him right
That's
there?
him right.
Oh, that's
right there.
That is. I had I think I was a green belt in weight judo, which we don't spar.
Wow, that's
with you guys
a long
at all.
time
Yeah,
ago.
It was a long time ago. And I was attempting a back fist, back punch, and then he did a side kick.
Defensive side kick?
A defensive side kick, just right into my ribs.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is different.
Oh, the hurt of it all.
This is different. It's a whole different thing.
Yes, sir.
And I was like, I need to learn some of this stuff. And then I just tried to leech everything from the side.
Man, it was great having you around, and I remember working with you on a form one time that you competed. Yeah.
So I was competing. So again, my system for when we do not often score well, because for when my school's not a competitive school.
Yes, sir. And it's not for that,
it's
right?
Not for that. And then, but we also Okinawan styles are not as common in the karate circuit here,
sir.
And the kata style.
Mm-hmm.
So like our pauses and emphasis are almost in the wrong space, and the way
for competition in over here.
In
yes, sir.
America,
Yeah.
Because like when I did my competition in Okinawa, I changed it. So I did it differently over there than I would have done it.
Yes, sir.
Here. But I was like, who can help me win this tournament? Like, Master Frohm.
Oh.
Let me go show him my options and help me
sir.
spice this up. And again, my instructor knew who you were and was like, yeah, go talk to him. He's going to be better.
That's really nice. That's really cool.
Yeah. So I met you as a teacher, and one of the things that, like I said, encouraged me and had me look is I look at your students, and you have, like I said, guys who are champions, either national champions, either in forms or in sparring, and who not just are great point spars, but I know I know many of them don't do this, but they have the skill required to. And I put this out for those who are listening who do not understand that this is possible. A lot of these point guys can actually hang with us full contact MMA people.
Oh.
And Bobby is a good example, as he eats everyone alive when he spars at our gym.
Yeah.
And I know a good number of your black belts I suspect could hang in those realms as well. And the reason I point that out is you have guys who are really legitimately good fighters, who are really good forms. And I have never. When I walk into I've seen this at karate places, and I've seen a lot in more combat, like boxing MMA type gyms. Boxing MMA, it's very normal. You have a couple guys, egos. Egos are a thing.
Yes, sir.
And you get egos in karate.
Yes, sir.
And I come here, though, and one thing I notice is so different is I will be working with one of your black belts who just ate me alive, okay? And then I'll do something for my karate. And their ability to switch to student is crazy.
Yes, sir.
And that's something that I recognize I don't see in many places. Because every other martial art, or not even, I'm saying martial art, mostly every other school of any martial art period I've been in. Not all of them, but let's say 85%. If that teacher thinks is better in his skill than I am in my skill.
If the teacher thinks they're...
Or even thinks they're better in their skill than I am in my skill.
Oh, got you. Okay.
They are somebody else. I watch from someone else. They don't have an ability to learn from others, is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay.
It's like they shut down...
The learning aspect.
The learning ability.
No, I'm always learning, man.
and I see such an ability for, I mean, you talk about, I am humble.
I am humble, I am steady.
Yes.
Yeah,
And being humble within the martial arts is often in my experience, it's going to sound bad, but it's fraudulent. And what I mean, not as in it's actually fraudulent, but I know a lot of fake, humble martial artists. Mm-hmm. And not everybody, because like I'll tell you in a bit, like the instructors I train with up in SAC for my it's a 10th Dan and a 9th Dan, and they're both super humble.
Yes, sir.
So this is not, but I know a lot of people who speak on humility, but you know, I come to this school, and I think that the dichotomy is, you have probably, for the sport or the competition style you do, I have seen between this gym and maybe Resistance, which has a bunch of pro Muay Thai fighters, the highest average, or the top level guys, a high number of top level competitors. Mm-hmm. But compared to every other school I've been to, every one of your competitors, almost without exception, shows real humility. And at other schools, even when they have, it's maybe you'll get 30% that can be humble, and 70%, or maybe the other, 30 that are like somewhere in the middle. They can be humble sometime, but they're a little strutting around, and the other 40% are egotistical, right? And then I come here, and it's like everybody goes full student when they need to be full student, and it is I just feel like it's a very different experience, and the ability to teach people humbleness while also teaching them to be so competitive.
Mm-hmm. And be a beast in what you're doing.
And be a beast in their competition.
Yeah.
Without the ego spreading. Like,
Yes,
I
sir.
see the ego when they're competing.
Yes, sir.
When they're competing, the ego's...
Oh, it's right there in your face.
It's right there in their face.
Yeah.
Yeah. But their ability to turn it off...
Yes, sir.
...is what is...
Dathan Wayne Taylor, man.
Yeah.
That's my teacher.
Okay.
That was it. But, see... I'm sorry to cut you off. Did you?
No. That's fine.
So, Dathan Taylor also, he put people in my life that would complement that. So, Roland Dumlau and Sean Dumlau, who are now Master Roland Dumlau and Master Sean Dumlau. So, if anybody were to talk to me about who are like the number one coaches that I believe in the world, Roland and Sean Dumlau. These two gentlemen, so before I opened my school and before Roland opened his school in Hercules, this Pinole Hercules area, we would sit and eat Top Dog at Cal Berkeley.
Okay.
And we would we would sit next to each other and be like, yeah, man, we're going to do this and we're going to do this. And I remember visiting when they were part of a school called Illoggins. So they were black belts that had students, and they were already teaching. And they had learned from Master Taylor when I was away dancing.
Okay.
And so then we connected. And when we talk about the word humility and humble, like in speaking to them, it's like breath of fresh air, just in any capacity. And so I remember the first time we, as Frohm's Martial Arts, bunch of boys, some girls visiting their school. Mm-hmm. And they had a bunch of boys and girls, but these girls, they would just be standing there. And I'm like, oh, we're gonna be fighting girls? Little did I know. There was Leanne, Jasmine, Lorelei, Leanne's mom, not Leon's mom, Jasmine's mom. These women beat my black belts, beat the brakes off of them. And this is when my black belts, they were coming up, and it's right before they were black belts, and they're, we're out there on the tournament doing our thing and everything. We see the Dumlaus and we were all huggy and everything. But once we got into training with them, I was like, oh, we got work to do. Because the skill level that Roland Dumlau and Sean Dumlau put into their students and their father teaches the forms.
Okay.
I had never seen that before. And so I was like, wow, whatever I'm doing, it's cool, but I need to see what's going on there. And so in that camaraderie between myself and Roland, and I got really close to one another. And I'm also close with Sean. But Roland and I would talk all the time. He would come to my school and we just spar, him and I. Okay. And I go there, you know. It was a breath of fresh air to be able to speak with someone that didn't come from where you were talking about. It's like, yeah, man, this and that and the other, blah, 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 blah. I wasn't about that. I was, you know, and so I think it was kind of finding my tribe.
Okay.
You know, finding your tribe, you know, I was like, these are my hows. No, these are my whys. These are my whys. Yeah. I want to be like that dude, like Roland. I want to be like Sean. And then I think there was a reciprocity in that. We saw value in one another.
Got you.
You know what I mean? And so it's like Roland got his a black belt in American karate under me. And I was like, you want to learn from me? So I saw it as an opportunity. Yeah, sure. I'll teach you what I know. And I want to learn from you too.
From you back.
So, you know, as it's.
I actually have a similar.
Yes, sir. No. Yes, sir.
No, I just think I have similar relationships. Like my Shorin instructor, I teach you kickboxing, Muay Thai, and you teach me Shorin.
Yeah.
It's about the, you know, finding.
Them are some bad dudes. I think that would be some great folk, a duo to interview. Roland and Sean Doomlau. Okay. Of Doomlau's martial arts.
Okay. I'll do that.
He calls me his instructor, Roland does, but I'm like, and I'm like, yeah, man, he's given me so much. He's given me how to make this a family. Like I watched their school, and with Taylor's House of Karate, which is now run by Derek Bentley, I learned family, like 1, 2, 3 family, and how love operates inside of a dojo. But to watch it from the outside, I can really see it in Doomlau's Martial Arts Academy. And I can also see it in Serenio. So I always mess up Bobby's last name.
I think that was it.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, it's the family aspect that always really resonated with me, and not who was the top competitor. I don't care if you can kick and punch. I don't care. I really want to know what kind of human you are. Okay. You know, there's 5 principles that we live by: courtesy, integrity, perseverance, self-control, and indomitable spirit. And I think biblically, through the Quran, through the Torah, whatever you study, no religion, but your relationship with people. Your relationship with people is going to take you so much further than your pros as a back fist, back punch expert, or defensive side kick expert, or anything in the realm of just being a human on this earth. What is your reputation, rapport, and relationship? And how do you maintain those things? That's what I love about the people that we've talked about. All right. We've all kept this reputation, rapport, and relationship. There may be some falling off of the cliff where it's like, I disagree with the way you did this, but I always think that there's an opportunity to bring it back through love, because we've suffered some of the same pains. Like, I've been kicked and punched in the face. I've been poked in the eye. I've been kicked in the groin. Getting kicked in the groin is absolutely horrible. That used to be part of the tournament scene back in the 80s where...
Wait, they allowed it?
Oh, my God.
That was allowed?
Oh, my God. It's called cup check. They would fake Damon Gilbert. Damon Gilbert would fake, lift his arm. You think you have that open side kick to the body or roundhouse kick, and a front kick straight to the groin. And all you hear from the cup is...
Do you know, I actually hear it's legal in Thailand. It's just a gentleman's...
That's why I'm not going there.
It's a gentleman's... Yeah.
The groin shots. So, yeah, but I mean, just going back, I just really... This family thing is... It's paramount for me. Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I see that. I've spoken... When I was here and younger, I didn't actually... Well, let's just say I've had conversations with many of the people that you've trained.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, good.
But male and female included. That's all I'm going into right
really?
now.
Okay.
But and a lot of them will express how you kept them out of... Kind of how, martial arts saved you and kept you out of street stuff.
I hope so.
I've been told by your students back when they were, just 18, 19 years old, like they telling me, like older ones, but just telling me that they that what you've done for them in that way. And so I know that you have kept certain people out of negative life. I mean, I can't remember her name, but one of the girls who used to train, she was visiting, it was a few years back, and she stopped by my uncle's store. My uncle owns a liquor store. And I saw her in there and we talked for a little bit. And she was literally telling me how you had kept her out of some shadier decisions within her life.
I always hoped that I had. And I remember my instructor saying, he's like, Ern, you know they're all going to leave. I'm like, what you mean? And so I had to experience that. And so I'm hoping that what I have done, what I have assisted in doing, because I'm one, so I believe in God. And so I believe that, you know, I have, like, this is my ministry. I haven't had a job since I started teaching martial arts. And so, you know, as we say that we're vessels, I'm just doing my part while I'm here on earth. I'm not here for very long. I don't know how long that's, we might end this and all of a sudden, I'm not here. I'm hoping that what has been transferred to me, I've been able to impart in some people so they can do the same thing. I feel like we all get it like this. Like I got the martial arts from Master Taylor like this, and then we do this. Now it's going to go that way, that way, that way, that way, that way, and that way. But the way that the person interprets it is directly based upon how they're being brought up, where their mindset is, and then how they're going to transfer it. So I'm always hoping that the way, because I know oftentimes I've been told that my style of teaching is very, what is that word? My instructor, when he first saw my black belts, when they were training to get their black belts, I remember my instructor, Dathan Taylor, saying, Ern, you're not going to have no students. And I was like, why? He said, because you were so not mean, not aggressive.
I was going to say militaristic.
That, but it's a word like, it's military. And I was like, yes, sir. I'm in the middle of East Oakland, sir.
Yeah.
I'm not in San Rafael. I'm not in.
Yeah.
And so he's like, Ern, you can't teach that way. I was like, okay, sir. And I kept doing it. And then
it worked.
And then he tested my black belts and he was just okay. And so, but I get that for a lot of people, it pushed people in different, because they were like, why is he this way? So you can be your way and walk in your authority. So I recognize that my way and that my spirit of teaching can appear this way, but it's all love. It's just my form of love. And I'm only here for a while. So I can't sugarcoat it. I'm not going to have cookie cutter. I'm not, whatever your relationship is with me, is my relationship with you is probably different. Yeah, you know, we all see things differently. So I'm glad that you had conversations with people and they were able to say that to you.
Yeah.
So it's good to know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely, I like I said, I know for a fact you've helped some people. Actually, those conversations, again, my opinion was already good, but I was like, okay, he's doing exactly what he says he's doing because I now have proof. And yeah, so I've seen, that you have a very militaristic style, which is different than everywhere else I've trained.
It's disciplined, sir.
It's very disciplined.
Yeah, I'm not giving you options when you walk through my door.
Yeah.
Parents coming in, and when they start the conversation, my son wants to or my daughter wants to, I'm like, I'm not interested in what your child wants at all, not a little bit. What do you want as a parent? And they're always taken aback. But I think it's important to really, really put into perspective, the parent is the one that's driving the ship. And your child at 8, 5, whatever it is, will say, I want to do that because they've only seen what they've seen. Yeah. And so if they're watching John Wick, which they shouldn't be, and they're seeing these wonderful acrobatics and this acting, you're going to come here
expecting that.
Because you see the floor. You'll watch a sparring. It's like, that's what I want. It's like, you got to know what you're going to go through to get there.
Yeah.
And it's...
you just broke a lot of rules. You said it's not about what the kid wants. That's
a little bit, not a little bit. A little bit. Choices. Look, man, if you still finding racing stripes in your child's drawers when you're washing clothes, why are you asking them questions? Why are you asking them what, do you want to do karate? If you know as a parent, you know what, my child is growing up in the jungle, because there's many people that are growing up in the forest, like maybe the Adirondack Mountains of New York, or in the forest or whatever, Mendocino. The city is the jungle. And you need training for the jungle. If you're going to go out there to be with snakes and panthers, and not black panthers, but panthers and tigers and lions and tigers and bears, oh my, you have to have somebody telling you no. All the students know here. It's like, I love you enough to say what? And they all say, to say no, sir. I'm not here to say yes to you, because I might only be here for you for months, maybe years, but I got to give you 100% of what I received.
No, that's good. And no, that's good. That's good. And I also see within that structure, you're building, I've seen it build a lot of personal strength.
Yes, sir.
And as you say, living in the jungle, the ability to say no. And with the stories you've told me, from the stories I know from some of your students, is that no has been related strictly to, as cliche as it is, say no to drugs. But like, that sounds like
say no to drugs. Yeah.
But like, in reality, that's what you did to at least 2 students that I know.
Yes, sir. Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
So
Excuse me.
I know they both talk off camera. I'll explain that later if you like. But
okay.
But that said no to drug type situations because of.
Me too. Yeah.
And so I know you're building that kind of strength within your students here. Mm-hmm. And like I said, I know for a lot of them, especially if they don't have dad, you're very much the father figure type example that has been laid out.
Yeah.
And my mom would make fun of how strict you are. I'm just gonna say it's strict.
I know. A lot of the parents, they're just like, that's Frohm. That's Frohm. But that's not my name. My name is Frohm. That's Frohm. Yeah, it's. I've had a lot of people. It's. Why are you like this? Because I am battling platforms now. So I'm not battling just TV anymore and television. So remembering that the root of that is what it actually said. They put television in front of us, and it's tell of a vision. They never hit it. We're telling you our vision, and we want you to follow it. Those things are so strong. You think about the platforms of Netflix, Hulu, Max, all these things, what they are programming us with. And it's absolute programming. These things are portals. We noticed, we call them phones because they told us that they're phones. They transport us to places we're not supposed to go, we were never supposed to be. We've exchanged love for likes and comments. And it was happening right under our noses. And me having the luxury to be on the outside, not having children and everything, it gives me the opportunity to watch generation after generation after generation change because of the technology that's coming in and that has come in. And so as we watch this, it's important for us that our physical and psychological teachers and spiritual teachers in a particular way, we have to know what we're battling. Because if you know that you're battling these things that they're showing on Netflix, that is instant gratification, you're battling Amazon that has taught a child, a young person, I can order this right now and it'll come tomorrow. I am not Amazon Prime. My knowledge, the knowledge that you're going to get from Fromm's martial arts is going to be over time. And it's going to be through pain. This is not cookie cutter martial arts. This is not, I want you to recognize what you're doing. I want you to know the history behind it. I want you to know the beautiful and wonderful people that have helped me to become who I'm still becoming. Yeah, so it's, it could be called militaristic. It could be called...
it's structure.
Yeah, I love to hear it. It's old school.
Old school,
It's
yeah.
like, okay, I love that. I'm just Ernest Leon Frohm III, Alva Ann Foreman's son, Ernest Leon Frohm Jr.'s son, and the son and student of Dathan Taylor and Roger Carlone in East Oakland for 24 years now. Yes, sir.
You said no. What you said was very deep because you're talking about the instant gratification.
Yes, sir.
And for those who don't know, my day job is I'm a teacher.
He's a teacher.
Okay. And not just a martial art teacher. I taught first grade for 3 years, and I taught English in Japan, and then I came back. I'm a substitute teacher. So I teach kids on a regular basis. As I go into it, yeah. All right.
With these things in their hands.
Yes. Woo! So with phones.
Yes, sir.
Instant gratification and short attention spans. I mean, it already got bad with my generation.
It's wild.
But it's crazy.
Yes. Yes.
And I recognize the importance of having something of value that teaches you to struggle and for it to take a long time. Because I'm going to go a little farther deep. I hate participation trophies. I hate. Okay. I
showed up.
Because I'm like, it creates an unrealistic idea of the world.
Oh, yeah.
The world is a struggle.
Yes, sir.
The world is hard. And listen, I'm not about to get political on y'all about whether I think it should be hard. I'm just saying what it is. The world is hard and
Listen
difficult.
to Illmatic by Nas. Listen to his first album. Anyway, go ahead.
No, real. It's hard and it's a struggle. And in the real world, if you don't have patience, if you don't have the ability to go through some pain.
Nobody told you no?
Nobody told you no a couple times. Do you know how many no's you got to get over as an adult? No is a consistent thing.
Oh, my God.
Do you know what it's like? Do you know how bad it would be to not know how to deal with a no as you start talking with women? Like...
Or trying to get a job. Why are you talking to me like this? I just want a job. Yeah.
Certain important aspects of patience are kind of being lost, and some people are almost,
they're gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
Yeah.
And some people are celebrating like that aspect.
Let's talk about it. Come on, man.
Are we gonna go there?
Yeah,
I wasn't sure if I was gonna go there.
Look, man, I don't know who's gonna see this, but if we gonna talk about this, you really gonna get to know the real Ernest Leon from the third.
We can go there. If we're gonna go there, we can go there. We can go there.
Well, whatever you want. You're interviewing me. Whatever you want to know.
I'm open. I'll go there. I don't mind because I'm like. To me, I think a lot of the way in which we're trying to mold, like this whole thing, like this being pushed is like a parent's job almost isn't a parent. It's just to sit there and enable you. I'm like, bro, what are you saying? Like a parent's job needs to be to mold that child and the morals. And again, I'm very much the morals to me. It's like that the parents choose also, which is a whole other thing. But they need to be molded by the parent. You can't have your child molded by society because society is crazy TikTok people who'll do something stupid in a public grocery store, like throw milk on the ground for likes. That's what public is raising.
Yeah.
And so if you don't put yourself in a position to instill proper values upon your child, and I've always, again, in a lot of my videos, you'll see me talk like half the time I'm somewhat worried about, like, you don't want the wrong martial art instructor giving that, because there are some martial art instructors who are not all the
there are people that should not be touching your child at all.
Yes.
There's certain people that got their black belt and they decided to open up a school because they had enough money for rent and they thought that they were good enough to teach karate or teach some kind of a martial art, and they're not supposed to be touching children because they don't have the spirit for it. Yes, sir.
But again, I know your background.
Oh, yes, sir.
So like when I say these things and I come to you in particular, it's because I know the success stories you pulled out. I know a lot of your students. And so the structure you've instilled is necessary. And I just recognize more and more as I look online and I hear people talk. Even teachers and like having like, I fear for the direction in which we are raising children. And so I look at what you've done here. I look at what you've done here, and and how you're able to instill that structure, and it's something I look toward.
It's what the parent allows, but we have. Again, myself not having children has given me the luxury to sit back and kind of receive things like the laws that are being passed now, the power that's being taken away from parents.
Yes.
And that they don't know it until it's happened. And then so it's like, did you vote on that? Did you know that these things, this empowerment things, did you know if you go to a hospital you don't have these rights anymore as a parent? Did you know that? So we are in a situation, I believe, that somehow we have to get the power back to the parents.
I agree.
I don't want to speak against, the school systems, but what are they being taught? What was I taught? I went to Richmond High, and wow, it's.
I still work there, so I'm gonna be quiet.
You said, yeah, it's. We have, so responsibility is the ability to respond appropriately. So I can't hold you responsible for something that you've never been taught. And I think oftentimes that's what we do as humans. It's like, I talk to the parents, and when they use the term, my child should know better, but you're still running a red light. You're still doing these things. But if you,
I'm sorry. I just had a moment. I sub at some schools that I can't name.
Right.
But boy, you talk about the parents saying my child should know better, but you're still running the red light.
Yeah.
I just had a flashback of someone who was getting suspended, and the response of the parent.
Exactly.
And I'm like, oh, I understand why this kid's crazy now. Like, yeah. I know where it comes from.
Yeah.
Like,
it's wild. I mean, I think it's just,
as we talk about giving power back to the parents, you also got to be good parents at the same time.
But see, that aspect of being a good parent, it's so you earlier in the interview, you mentioned the word cult. So that word comes from the word culture. And so every school has a culture. Every household has a culture. Every friend circle has a culture. And if your culture is being attacked, you are being attacked. And we're not seeing that we're being attacked, that our culture is being attacked. And I'm not talking about black and brown people, white people. Our culture as people is being attacked. When I look at AI and all that, and not to get into the fears of it or how I feel about it, I believe that people, and I don't want to put my shoulds on people, but it's important for us to be able to recognize what are we participating in that AI will have an opportunity to take over. I don't believe what you do, what I do, what your instructors do, my instructors do, can be taken over by AI, because I have people that have come in and say, I got my green belt from YouTube.
Yes.
But it's so important to have somebody, they got to move that hand. That was supposed to be there.
Yes.
You got to raise that, all these different things. But as martial artists, martial combat art has to look like something. I believe it's important for us to value it and dig deeper into it, because we stay so epithelial. We stay right on the surface, and it's like, my kick is dope. I can kick anybody if I want to. So what? Can you duplicate yourself? Because we were put on this earth that, it's said to procreate and everything like that. I'm not procreating, I'm duplicating. I'm duplicating myself into other people that can duplicate themselves my way. And so, again, I go off on these tangents. We have that responsibility if we know. But we got to stop holding people responsible for stuff they don't know. So if parents don't know, it's up to you or me to be able to impart and know how to talk to a parent when I'm not a parent, and let them know, this is a different way you might want to approach it. You don't want to, because I hear all the time, I don't want to raise my child the way I was raised. What do you mean? Well, I got whoopings, or I got beat, or I got this. Okay, well, what's the balance? You can't just give them everything. Yes. You can't just be the yes, 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 yes. And then you do that, and now they're 13 years old, hit puberty, their brain has changed, and now they're like, Mom, shut up. And then you're mad about that.
Yeah.
And then you bring to me, Susie told me to shut up. Okay, what preceded that? No, I don't mean right before that happened. How you been? No, Susie's 13 and can come in whenever Susie wants to. There are rules for a reason. And people are, there's no more gatekeepers. There should be no more gatekeepers.
Gatekeepers, and the context that we're talking about, those are necessary.
Yes.
We're talking about for children. you can't give them everything. Again, I'm going to change a couple facts on this just for the sake of privacy. But I know we're just going to call it a person who's in a situation that they over-yesed their child to a point where it has become, let's just say, very hard on said family group with this kid. To the point where parents have... Woo, I'm getting a little...
We can get back to the martial arts part, yeah.
Let's just say it got very bad to the point where it became it started spreading outside just the family, the issue.
Yes, and it will.
Yeah. And so, again, it expressed to me the importance of you cannot just give. Every child needs a balance.
Yes, sir.
And a child, as an empty vessel, is going to be filled one way or the other.
And so, without boundaries or not, you might have holes in your vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to be filled no matter what from all over the place. It is your job as a parent to make sure that they are filled with things that are positive. Because if you allow a child to be filled by whatever's there, the stuff that's being pushed through phones are not... You would have to be insane to think YouTube in general is spreading positive messages. It's not. It's entertainment junkiism. It's drugs for the ego. And so if that is what there is, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, whatever, is what they're, and you let them live their lives based on those messages instead of your own, you end up in this crazy situation. So, and either you as a parent have to do it, and then again, you may have work. They're going to be at school. You need other places where enrichment that give positive role models. And again, vet the school. I'm not saying every martial art teacher is you. So go ahead and vet the place. But this is one of the places.
Go to all of them.
Yeah.
Go listen to what the teacher is saying.
Yeah.
Go watch the white belt class and the advanced class of your child's age group to see not what they're doing, but how they're talking to those children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yes. And get some positive enrichment around people whose values you share.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Okay,
Sorry. Hop on in. You're fine. You're all good. You're all good.
Oh, class is about to start. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
But
do you need to?
Oh, I thought this was yours.
Oh, I don't know.
That's yours.
Oh, thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. You want to close the door so the noise?
Oh.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. I'll make sure you're good.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
close
have
it.
a t-shirt
Thanks.
Okay. So yeah, and again, let me just double check, see where we're at here.
May I drink some water?
Go ahead.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool,
you can drink as we're. This is long. If I wasn't gonna let you drink, that'd be cool. That's
How long has it been so far?
You know what? I'm gonna pause it. I'll restart it in a second.
Are we back?
Yes, we're back.
We're back.
Okay, so we just noticed we've been here for an hour and a half. He has a class and students that will be coming in for a bit. So we may end up having a part 2 because there's a lot of points here that I wanted to cover. But I noticed as we got off track, I didn't actually get to the main.
I didn't know there was a main. What is the main question?
So I touched on it earlier, and then we moved away before I could really go in about how your students have great humility and also are great in competition.
Sir?
So for me, I would say probably my second biggest issue when I started competing was I always viewed martial arts from like the movie mysticism perspective in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
And the whole like the humble martial artist thing, right? And then I'd go out and I compete.
Yes, sir.
And when I started competing in the beginning, once I got over the stage fright issues to a point, one of my coaches, he said this to me after a tournament. He came up to me, he was so mad. Oh my God. He said, because it was the second time it happened, he said, "You keep doing this, Leonard. You never lose a fight. I've never seen you lose. I've only seen you let the other person win."
I love that.
And it's funny because I've never been hurt in a fight. I've been hurt in training.
Okay.
I've never been hurt. I've never been outclassed.
Right.
What in any of my fights, half of them are split decisions, but like way more than there should be. and what I noticed is I come from this place where I'm a humble martial artist and I do this for self-defense. So since I do this for self-defense, you didn't hurt me as a martial artist from a self-defense perspective. If you can't hurt me, I won.
Okay.
Because and once I know that you can't hurt me, I lose all ability because I'm so humble. I lose all. I didn't have a drive to beat you.
Okay.
I had a drive to prove myself as a martial. I wanted to prove myself as a martial artist against higher level competitors, which is why I was competing. But my why within that part of competition, especially in the beginning, was covered by the sense of humbleness that was like, it never allowed me to create a drive to win. It was like, I can defend myself. I know if this is a street fight, I would have been fine. I'm good. And I just I die. Like, not die, but like my energy to like win would just, whoop.
I never had that energy at all. I've never won grand champion.
But your students do.
Yeah.
Okay? How did they get it?
I wrote down my follies. I wrote down all my mistakes. My life is an example. It's not for me. I enjoy it. I live a bomb life. I really enjoy it. But I recognize that, like, I recognize how much time I have, the freedom I have, and God has enabled me to have these things, but there is response and ability. And so I live my life out loud here. I don't go on social, I'm not a social media dude. But I don't think, did you answer the question? I mean, did you ask the question yet?
Oh, well, it was mainly, I guess I didn't straight ask it. It's more, how did you nurture the ability for them to both be humble and then turn it off and on like that?
Because I taught them that I didn't put anything in them. I taught classes in a way that I felt. So I can walk humbly, relaxed, all those things, because my instructor, Dathan Taylor, has put in me a confidence through physical attributes that transfer to spirit and thought, that I don't fear anything. And it's not from, I'm not waving at you guys, somebody was over there. I don't think I can beat everybody up or anything like that, but I don't put myself in positions, and I walk with such a confidence. I believe that I don't ever have to do this. But if I do, I have a whole lot more options than many. And that's what I instilled in them, and what I still instill. You have all these options not to fight. Why would you fight? Why would you? See, I know what it feels like to get punched in the face. And Leonard, it hurts. I know you know.
I'm aware.
I know what it feels like to have that blah sound when you get the wind knocked out of you. I don't ever want to do that to anybody. Like not ever, not never. It's interesting I was put on this earth in teaching martial arts because it feels like I was supposed to be a full-time gardener. Because that's all I do is plant seeds and give options. And let the sun do everything it's supposed to do. Because we say that people have potential, but we never say the sun has the potential to shine. So why do we say that about humans? Let the humans shine. So I let our humans shine in our dojo in a way that I give them all these options and abilities that they had inside of them that I'm just waking up and watering. Yep, that's just... my students, particularly my black belts, I'm hoping that I've instilled in them to be able just to walk in authority, walk in your authority, and recognize that everybody doesn't have the same communication style as you. Everybody's not going to speak to you with the utmost of love and respect, but it's not because of anything other than they don't know. They don't know you. They don't know the beauty of you. And so I give people, and I have the option, and the people that I know have the option of walking past and letting, I remember what Jay-Z said one time, I let drama miss me, right. You know, but there's, so I'm from the hip hop era, I'm from the 90s and 80s, so that hip hop stuff is with me. And I recognize that in those eras, I was doing martial arts. While they were rapping and honing their skills, I was honing mine. And I was honing mine for the way of being able to teach people to be able to walk down the street comfortably without fear and smile and have a bounce and do what you want to do in life. Like you doing this, keep doing this, man. Do whatever you want to do in life. You're worthy. And I appreciate this. Thank you.
Of course. All right. All right. Well, we are going to let him go teach his class and probably have a part 2 at some point. We'll schedule that later. But yeah, I just want to say thank you very much for sitting down for the hour and a half.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. And remember, guys, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you next time.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.